welcome to the Distracted Crafter podcast. My name is Monica. I live in South Carolina. I dye yarn and I knit. And sometimes I do other things like sewing. I've done crochet in the past, and whatever grabs my attention. If it has to do with crafting, I'll probably get to it. Today is a Friday. I also am a teacher at a high school. I teach Spanish, and this semester has been a little hard for me because my last period is been a challenging class where I can't get my students engagement, and because I care a lot about being a productive teacher and making sure my students are learning, it's been very challenging for me to not see them as engaged as I would like them to be. And I must say, cell phones are my worst enemy right now when it comes to students. I mean, there's not much I can do. I cannot compete against the entertainment that a cell phone may have for these teenagers, and I'm not trying to compete, but I am trying to get their attention so that I can teach them something and they can learn some Spanish language. But anyways, I'm trying to figure it out, and I am sure I will work through it and we'll all get to a place where we're learning and it's gonna be good, or at least that's what I like to tell myself. I'm drinking some, it's called Relaxing Cocoa Mint tea. It's actually pretty good. My mother-in-law gave it to me. It's really good. And this mug, my friend Danny gave it to me, and I really like it. It's like different sweaters. It says Comfy Cozy, and I think she got it from Anthropologie. Yeah, and I really love it. I just like it, and we both like mugs, and that has been a gift that we give each other almost every Christmas we have, or birthdays, we give each other a mug. And it's not a set on stone thing. I just, like, now as I'm talking about my mug, I realize that we have gifted each other several mugs, and that's cool. Okay, so I've been working on my Ravelry. I've been trying to put all my projects there because now with this podcast, if anybody wants to go and look on what I'm working on or what I have worked on in the past, and there's a record and yarns that I'm using or size needle and all like that. So that's what I'm doing. That I am wearing a knitted object that I made myself. This is my striped sweater. I'm not sure if I have talked about this in the podcast before, but this is my most favorite sweater. The colors are just like my favorite colors, and also it's I think my favorite some of my favorite yarns, because my really favorite right now, it's Brooklyn Tweed. I've been wearing this shawl so much. But this is Sokapi by the Farmer's Daughters. This is, I think, Quince. This is also Fiverr. This is my yarn Experiments. It's all knit in sport. This is Quince, Sokapi. My yarn, this is Vintage Confetti, and it goes all the way again. And I think here I put some mohair from Biches et Bouches, and I'm not sure if the blue, it's a fingering. I'm not sure if it's Sam's, which is also Fiverr Co, or if it's mine. It was in my stash and I can't remember which one it is, but yeah, I know this is the 100 Acre Wood colorway from Sam. That green one is really pretty, and the pattern is stripes with exclamation mark at the end by Andrea Maury, and I really enjoyed making it or working on it. My sleeves are not symmetrical. I think this one is a little bit thicker or wider than this one, but it really doesn't bother me. Unless you pay close attention to me, you could notice. Or if I tell you, maybe you'll notice. But what happens with me sometimes is like I stop keeping track of when you do less stitches, decreases, and I just do whatever, and that's what happened with this one. This one I made more decreases than this one, and that's why this one is baggier, but it's okay. I have plans for another striped sweater. She came up with a pattern, oh, and I think I have it right here. She came up with the everyday cardigan, everyday sweater, and I got the pattern as soon as it came out. And I got this yarn at Black Mountain probably last year, and it's just thinking about this sweater. I want to make that pattern. Andrea Maury didn't do it as a striped sweater, but I'm gonna do it striped just because I love stripes, and this is what I'm going to stripe. So this is just another one of the same, and then this is another one of the same, and this is Twilight Dark Nest Sport from Magpie Fibers. I have never used this yarn before, but my friends really like it. Let me put it on top of my eye so it can focus. It's 100% non-superwash Corriedale. I've never made anything with that, and I'm keeping it all in a Magner bag. But I think I went crazy and bought the bag, and I bought the bag and the yarn at Black Mountain one day. Then this is again the Nest Sport Twilight Dark. I love this color. I have to say, blue is my favorite color, but this shade of navy, I just really like it. And these two are Eventide, and as you know, with Spin Cycle yarn, this is dyed in the wool, the colors vary a lot between dye lots, but I thought this was like really talking to me, so I got it, and I want to see what it does. And then this yellow, like to make it a pop of color. And I'm not going to do the stripes the same width, so this is going to be a cast on. Hopefully when I finish my Felix, which I just got to the hem. So yeah, so this is going to be a striped everyday sweater by Andrea Maury that I keep here, and it's just like a project that's waiting for me to cast on, and I'll cast that on as soon as I finish this one that I showed on the last episode. This is the and I'm in the middle of the row, but this is the Felix. This is the Felix cardigan, and I'm sorry for that noise. And as you can see, I am now on the hem. So it's made with La Bien-Aimée Cori Confetti, and I am using, I think, size 10 needles. I don't think I need to gauge for this. I'm just kind of winging it. Like I cast on with these needles because I liked, and as I was making it, then I measured and made sure it was gonna fit. Yeah, these are Chagu 10s, and this was also spur of the moment thing. We went to Black Mountain. I got the yarn and the needles, and I cast on in place. And my friend Kat also cast on in place, but she finished hers. She made a pullover. So that's that. I'm hoping, I mean, it's not gonna be finished as soon as I would like to, because I know I'm not that fast because I'm making different things at the same time. But I'm making progress. So as soon as I finish this, I have that other one waiting for me. And I wanted to make this episode all about socks, just because I really enjoy knitting socks. And last podcast, I remember I was showing you one of the socks that I had on my feet. And so here's an FO. These are the Summer Crush socks by Tracy Miller. I think Tracy Miller, I think that's her last name. She's one of the grocery girls. I'm sure everybody knows who she is. And these are some shorty socks. To be honest, I don't use many shorty socks, but I thought they were super cute, so I try to make them. This yarn was given to me in a yarn swap, one of the first yarn swaps that I ever did. And the yarn is Sock Glitz by Hugh Loco, and the colorway is Eskimo, and it's just white with, like, it looks also kind of like birthday cake, and it has silver stellina in it. And yeah, I made these socks, and I just ordered a pair of sock blockers that were cute, but they're not arriving, and I ordered them for the podcast so that I could show my socks in a prettier sock blocker, but they're not here and they're gonna take a while to get here. So I was just like, you know what, I'm just gonna go ahead and do the podcast, and then I'll worry about getting my sock blockers. And then I also have this other sock, and this one is made holding three strands together, and this one is by Tiff Neelan, and I will put the name of the pattern, and you can make your sock as you want. These are house socks, and I only have one. This is a half finished object because I only have one of them. And as I said, it has some texture here, but you can decide to do the texture as you go, and you can mix and match your colors. I use Socapi, so actually like this dark color that you see here is the same as I use for my ¿cómo se llaman? Muñecas. Wrist. I forget the name. Wrist ribbon. I don't know. I'm sorry. I went blank. And then I have other yarns in here that I don't remember the names. And then this is a, I mixed it with a Suri by also the Farmer Daughter Fibers. And is their Suri, which their name of the base, Oh Dang. Yeah. And I don't know the name of the color. But I use the blue, and then like another Socapi that it's like light beige, and this color name is Newman, I know that. And then the blue I don't remember, and then a variegated blue that is really beautiful. And I need to make the other one of these because these are pretty and they're super soft, and I can just wear them in the house when it's cold weather. So yeah, that's another FO. Yay! And another one that I did show last time, that but I had them on my feet, so I'm gonna put it in the sock blocker. And this is using what do you call this one? This is Spin Cycle dyed in the wool. Is it dyed in the wool? Because they have two bases that I have bought. Yeah, dyed in the wool, which is the same as this one that I was showing you before. Don't ask me the colorway. I think it's also Eventide. I don't know. I'm sorry. And then the blue one is Retrosaria Mondim for socks. And I really, really like this yarn, but I feel like someone put them in the dryer because they feel felted. They still fit me, but I feel like they got a little felted, and I really, really love making these socks. I started them with the challenge that she had to be finished during a long weekend. Of course, I didn't finish them in the time that she had, but I did finish them, and I really like them, and I want to make another pair of these ones. So yeah, these are called Curio socks by Andrea Maury, and these are the FOs that I will be showing you today. And then I'm gonna show all the whips because I have a lot of sock whips, and I'm throwing these socks where my whips are. And I will start with this ones over here, or you know what, I'm gonna start with this ones right here. Yeah, let's start with those. Okay, so there's a designer from Mexico, but she lives in Canada, and her name is Cam, and her Instagram is Hand Knit by Cam. And we did a collaboration last year for season colors, season boxes, and this was the winter box. As you can see, I started them and I haven't finished them, and this colorway was the Christmas colorway, and she thought of a Mexican drink that we drink in Christmas. It's called ponche, and ponche is a bunch of fruit, guayaba, which is like guava, I think, guava fruit, prunes, apples, ¿cómo se llama? Ciruela, which is plum, but it's not really plum. It's ciruela, I don't know. And we tejocotes as well, which is a Mexican fruit. Caña de azúcar, which is sugarcane. And raisins, some people use raisins. And then you cut all that fruit and you put it like in a pot with a lot of water. And you can put sugar or panela, which is like molasses, and cinnamon, like sticks of cinnamon, and you just boil that, and it makes like a very good drink, and people drink it hot, and it's a winter drink, like Christmassy drink. And so that was the inspiration behind the colorway and behind her design. And let me tell you, this lady, I love her designs. She went to school for industrial design. So the way she approaches design, I feel like it's from a mathematical, and I may be wrong, like that's just how I see it. I also went to architecture, so probably, or maybe not, our minds are kind of alike, to where she makes charts and where you can mark off where you are or what rows you've knitted already. And I just find them very helpful. My friends make fun of me because I'm always making charts, and sometimes I make charts with color and everything to guide me of my knitting and plan my colors, and one day I'll show you those charts. But yeah, so this is the collaboration we had for winter, and this is ponche and this is cinnamon. So we sold, well, she sold the pattern and I sold the sock set. And this is my monkey sock base, which is a 90, 85, 75 superwash merino and 25% nylon. Another one of her patterns, and that was the winter one, it's this one. This one is April Showers. We did not do a collaboration for this one. This is a pattern that she had, but I had this yarn from Casual Fashion Queen, which I love her handle, I love her pictures. Her colorways are so amazing, and these are the April Showers. As you can see, it has like a center kind of lace motif on the middle, and then it's like pearl and knit rose in here. You can't see the texture much because it's variegated and speckly colorway, but I'm having fun making those. And you may ask, why are there two socks? I sock two at a time. My friend Danny gave me and Sam a class. I think it was me and Sam. And so the way she taught us of how to do it is you cast on one sock and then the other one, and then you put them in a needle. But then I watched, I think it was Earth Tone Girl, or I looked it up because I couldn't remember how she taught us to cast on. But this other lady casts on, like, so for example, if this sock has, let's say, 60 stitches, I cast on 30, then cut my yarn, or not, don't cut my yarn. I'll start from the beginning. First, I divide my yarn into balls, right? Like, and I use a little scale to weigh my yarn and make sure I have half and half. So this would be 50 gram, this would be 50 gram. Once I do that, I grab this ball, I cast on 30 stitches, put the ball down, cast on 60 stitches, turn it, and then grab the other ball again and do the other 30 stitches. And then that way I have 60 and 60. And then when I'm working on my pattern, I would, like right now, I would have to knit this, stop, this, turn, and then get back to the other one. And I hope I'm not confusing you more, but that's how I knit my socks when I do them two at a time. So this is with a pattern, right? And these are both by hand knit by Cam. I highly recommend her patterns. She's really good. And then another sock designer that I really like, and she doesn't only design socks, she designs other things, but yeah, both of those socks are made in size 0 needles because I knit very loose. And these needles, these are Haya Haya. I like my Haya Hayas. These ones are Addis, and I really like them too. They're very slick. I like both. I don't know which is my favorite, and sometimes it depends on the yarn that I'm using, but between Haya Haya and Addis, I think those are my two favorites. I don't love Chiagu that much, although I do buy them sometimes, but I knit with them, but they're not my favorite. Okay, so this pattern is by Hello Sailor. It's the name of the collection. And her name is... Why did I not write notes? What is her name? Summerlee. Summerlee is her name. The yarn is Shirley Bryan, and this pattern is called Scattered Perils by Summerlee, and she calls for a afterthought heel, and it's just knit and purls. It's super simple, and yeah, and this is a sock set by Shirley Bryan yarn, and this cute marker, stitch marker or stitch progress keeper, it's like a strawberry scone or strawberry pastry by Itty Bitty Delights. I love her shop as well. So yeah, and this is living in my Oh Wow Amsterdam bags from Black Mountain Yarn Shop. And then another time that I went to Black Mountain, I got, this is another way I like to make my socks. I just need a tube, and I'm gonna show you what I do. So first off, I do a ribbon. I love this color. This is Swanky Sock by Magpie Fibers, and the colorway is Highline or High Life. And so I just knit. When I think I've reached the height that I want, like the length on my leg, I stop and I make this for the afterthought heel, which is I make one row with a different color on one side so that I can identify it. And in this case, I did it yellow. I'm trying to see if this is focusing here, but this is it. And then the stitches from the top and the bottom, I hold them in waste yarn so that when I cut the stitches, which I'm gonna cut the yellow stitches, when I cut them, I make my my afterthought heel from here. And then when I get to the toes, I do like more rows. In this case, I did 5, I think. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, I did 5 rows of the yellow, which that's the color my toes are gonna be. And so from here to here is whatever my socks measure. So if I have, and the way that you can get that measure if you want to do this type of tube sock knitting, the way that you can come up with that measurement is, I'm looking for a sock to show you how I come up with my measurement. What did I do with the socks that I just showed you? Oh, here they are. Okay, I'm gonna use these ones because these are like the best fitting ones for me. So the measurement from here to here, that's how long you want to knit from where you place your heel to where you're going to start your toe. Okay, and now what I'm doing, I'm repeating the same thing. So, and I think I got to it, and that's why I stopped. Yeah, So here I'm going to place another yellow yarn, and I'm gonna put these stitches that I have right here, these live stitches. So these live stitches, I'm gonna run a thread through them. I'm gonna knit one side yellow, and then the other side, I go back and forth, and then back and forth, and then I retake the yarn that I'm working with to go over. So for example, on this sock, I will be able to show you that really well right now, because it's right where I have, so I measure from here to here, and let's say it's 4 inches. Once I get here, I make 4 rows of the yellow. Then from here to here, I'm gonna make 4 inches. And then when I get to those 4 inches, I'm gonna knit. I'm going to grab a needle and thread, and I'm gonna thread these stitches, or I can do that afterwards, it doesn't matter. I'm not gonna take them off the needles. I'm gonna leave them here. Now I'm gonna knit yellow. I have here, this is my working yarn. I'm gonna grab a different yarn, right? And knit yellow, and then back yellow, purl back, and then I grab my working yarn again, and I just keep going back on the round all the way. And the 2 rows that are next to that yellow, if I put a thread through it, I don't know, this has a lot of color, so it's hard to see. If I put a thread through it, then when I cut the yellow, I have all my stitches on hold already. And then I'm just gonna insert the needles and make my heel. So I hope that makes sense. And if you have any questions, just comment below and I will try to answer your questions as best as I can. I think I have 58 stitches in my needles, and I just go around and around. I love this type of project because it's just, I don't think, I just go, 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 go. And then once I'm done doing this, I'm gonna measure so that they're the same length, and then I'm gonna do my ribbon, and boom, that's it, that's over. Then I just cut, make toes, and make my heels. I also do those with 2 at a time, and I am working on these other socks that are 2 at a time as well with Haya 0. And I just, as you can see here, I love yellow, guys. But so these ones are nomadic yarns. I'm using Jack for the first time. And so as you can see, when I got to this part, I do my 1 row with yellow, knit row, and then back purl, and then grab my working yarn again and go all the way here. And now it's time for the next one. Now it's her turn, so I'm gonna do yellow knit, yellow back purl, and then I'm going to grab my yarn, my working yarn, and continue, and then all the way until I get to this measurement that I have here, until I get here, and then I can knit my toes. And then I'll come back here and cut and do my afterthought heel. And yeah, that's how I like to knit my socks. I have several ways of making them. I don't know, maybe, I don't know if I have a favorite. I enjoy both, like, yeah, and I also like to make pattern socks, but socks like this take longer for me because I probably started these over a year ago, and then I was like, okay, I need to do something different, and I can't travel with this, or I can't have this at school because I can't focus on this. I have to focus. So those are there. And that's my sock talk for today. I was trying to do a whole podcast about socks, And I do have another sock downstairs that I'll show another day, because I did do a collaboration with Tiff Neelan once, one of my first collaborations, and we did a Christmas sock, and it's really pretty, and we sold Christmas boxes. I think that one was 2 years ago. I'll show that one on my next episode, and probably I need to cast on the other one because I only have one of those. And yeah, so I'm gonna get back to my socks, and I'm gonna get back to my, look at these textures. I just love looking at this. Can you see these? It's hard to see. Yeah, these are my colors, guys. All of these are I love all the colors, I guess you can see. Oh, and talking about socks, I will be giving a class at the Needle Tree. I'm dyeing some yarn, some minis, because I found this beautiful sock online that has a Japanese name, Komi something, Komikugo, Komi. You know what? I have the pattern. I just need to find it. If I see it close to me, I'll show you it. If not, I'll show you it on the next. I will leave that for the next podcast because I have no idea where that is. But I will be dyeing minis to where people can come to the shop and choose what colors they will be working with, because it's a five color sock, and you can do it probably in 2 colors, but this pattern calls for 5 colors, and instead of making you waste 5 different skeins, why not do it with 5 different minis? So I will be dyeing some minis in 5 different colors or even more to have them at the shop and let people choose their colors and make up their own sock. And what is intended to be is 1 color for your ribbon, then 1 color here, so that would be 1, 2, 3, and this one and this is the same color, 3, but then it has 4 another color here and a different color here. So I'll show you the pattern on the next episode. I showed you in my previous podcast my Vanilla is the New Black, and I turned the heel, you guys. Yay, she finished the heel and I turned it. And look how interesting this is. This grows from the center out. And so when I put it on, I'm going to be walking like this. Tick, 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 tick. And yeah, Nomadic Yarns, Tweety Sock. Someone asked why I had so many stitch markers on the back, and those are to mark however many stitches or rows, how many rows I do before I start my heel, and that way when I knit the next one, it's the same amount of rows. And as you can tell, I love stripes, and I'm using the bamboo Adiflips, I think that's the name, in a 0, because as I said, I'm a loose knitter. And yeah, I bought them thinking they were going to be metal, and when the shop owner handed me the needles, I was like, but I had already said I was gonna buy them, so I just went ahead and tried them, and I actually like them a lot. I really like them a lot. So these socks are living on my Madder Root bag that my friend Maggie sent me for Christmas, or close to Christmas, after she went to Rhinebeck. I've never been to Rhinebeck, but one day I will, and I'm sure I'm gonna have a lot of fun. Isn't this cute? It's got like this beehive lining, and then you twist it like this, and then you buckle it the right way. So those are that, and the other socks I wanted to show you are these ones. So these ones were a qualifier for Sock Madness. If you don't know what Sock Madness is and you love to knit socks, even though right now it's a little late to enter, but it's basically a competition. It's a competition of sock knitting worldwide. You knit a pair of socks, so they put out a pattern as a qualifier, and you have to knit the pair in however time they tell you to, and then you send pictures, and there are ways to send the pictures. I think you have to either use these markers to prove that you did however many rows you needed to do, or you you put like a ruler next to it so that you show how long it is, and you have to have both socks on the picture. They have their requirements on how to send the picture so that people don't cheat, because it is a competition and there are prizes, and the best prize of all is bragging rights. Like there are people from all over the world that compete in this series. And so first off, they also send you a list of materials that you must have, because the patterns drop probably every 2 weeks, but I'm not completely sure because I have never qualified. But I have a friend that qualifies all the time. And once you knit your qualifier sock, they like say, okay, well, you need it in this much time, so you go to this team, and then they form their different teams, and you're competing with people in your team. And let's say if there's 15 people on the team, once the pattern drops, everybody's knitting the same sock. As they finish, they send their finished socks, and the last people to finish, or maybe the first 8 to finish, go to the next round. The ones that didn't finish, they don't go. If you only do the qualifier sock, which as you can see I did not finish, I didn't even qualify, then you can be a cheerleader for a team. Anyways, again, if you need the information, it's on Ravelry, but I will link it below so that you can check it out and maybe join next year. And it seems to be super fun. You get all those patterns for free, I'm sure, and then they come out for sale once the competition is over. But this is something about dance, I think, the Flans Draguet. I will look for the information of this pattern because it's pretty old. This is Malabrigo sock, and this is my own yarn, monkey sock. The colorway is, I don't remember, I think it's toffee, I'm not sure, I don't know, but I love it because I like yellow, as you can see. And my friend Danny probably gave me this stitch marker, Progress Keeper, that it's from Twill Pink and Twill Pink. Yeah, Twill and Pink. And it's totally me. I'm a snail, a total snail. If you want to hang out with me and talk more about socks and knitted objects and things that I make, I hope you have a wonderful weekend. If you see these podcasts during the weekend, if you don't, just have a wonderful day. Knit happy. And please, if you have any questions or comments, don't hesitate to put them down below. Subscribe, like if you like, and you can follow me on all my social platforms, which is, if you want to find out more about my projects, most of them are now on Ravelry. They are, I'm on Ravelry as Yarn Experiments. I'm on Instagram as the distracted_crafter. And I'm also there as Yarn Experiments. And I am also on Facebook as Yarn Experiments, for those of you that use Facebook. So yeah, go ahead and follow. And hopefully I have all the notes below. This one was a longer one. There was a lot of sock talk, or talking about socks. If there is anything that you would like to know more about, or that you would like me to talk about, I would love to do that. And thanks for being here. Bye.